welcome, studio audience. Thank you, Emilio, with the fake clapping machine. Love it, love it. It's just part of the show now. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got a really, really good one for you today. We are going to be doing a little bit more focusing on personal financial improvement. And my trusty sidekick, co-host, the one and only Mucho, has agreed to be my subject for this, which is cool. Oh boy, he's like, oh boy, I'm in the hot seat. You're in the hot seat.
There's a lot of skeletons in some of the closets here, man.
Right. It takes courage, number one, to sit down with a financial consultant and actually even look at your stuff and look at your money making and look at your money spending. Yeah. That takes courage unto itself. I can't get everybody to do that. And for you to actually be willing to do it on the show and actually put it out there for people to learn from, again, that's fantastic, because I know there's going to be people that watch this episode and some light bulbs are going to go off and some things are going to happen for them and hopefully happen for you too. So I'm really excited. Anytime I get a chance to sit down and actually help somebody personally with their finances, man, it's really, it's a real treat for me, because that's why my purpose now, obviously. So I've got the book propped up here. Now, those of you that have not seen the book, read the book, some of you don't even know who the hell I am or why you're watching this video right now. My name is Cory Jean, and I am the author of the book, Maximize Your Now. It is a #1 bestseller in 4 countries. Went #1 for personal finance in the USA. Amazon bestseller, let me be clear, not New York Times bestseller. Amazon bestseller. I only put it on Amazon, though, so I don't know how it would have done anywhere else. But Amazon bestseller, #1 in 4 countries, the U.S., Canada, U.K., and Germany, which I don't know if they translated to German or not, but I guess enough English-speaking people in Germany that is able to actually make an impact, and people in Germany made it #1. So thank you, people in Germany, especially if you were watching. I really appreciate it, because, again, I know the impact this book can have. So it's Maximize Your Now, how to immediately improve your financial life. And I wrote this book. My motivation for writing the book was, if I was going to go back to my 25-year-old self, my 23-year-old self that just graduated from college, just got these degrees, spent the money and the time to get a college degree, got out in the workforce, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What do I do now? How's this going to go now, right? And I'm sure, again, everybody that's, an adult has been there, right?
Yeah. And what you actually did when you got a little bit of money.
Right, yeah. So what do you do? So how do you get out there to begin with? How do you get moving, right? And then how do you scale? How do you scale your income, right? Our first jobs are always our first jobs, or our first full-time jobs, serious jobs, when you get out of high school, get out of college, get out of the military, wherever you're getting out of, and now you go into the workforce. Yep. Well, if you don't have good skills, even if you got a good education, just because you have an education doesn't mean you have skills. People confuse the two, that somehow an education means that you got great skills. They have nothing to do with each other. Nope. Now, when you get, and I got 2 degrees, and I thought, shit, I got 2 college degrees. The marketplace is just going to want me and just throw money at me, and I got a little rude awakening, because it doesn't work like that.
Nope.
So my first job out of college, I went to work in financial services. Actually, my first one was working for selling RVs. Then we talked about that last show. Yeah. And I made nothing. I mean, minimum wage is what I made, and that was only because they legally were required to pay it. My next job after that was, I got into financial services, and my first pay was $1,500 a month, right? And I'm like, 2 college degrees, 5 years at U of A, and $1,500 a month. Man, this sucks. But that was, that's what it was, because I didn't have any skills. I had an education, thought I was pretty smart, thought I was a hot shot, thought I had a lot to offer. But the reality is, the resume was very thin. Yeah. And the resume didn't have much on it that showed that I could actually produce anything and help anybody accomplish anything or solve any major problems. Yeah. And nobody in the marketplace needs you to run to the library and write a 20-page research paper. So I was really good at that, or got pretty decent. I think I got B's on that. But no one's going to pay for that in the marketplace. No. Right? It doesn't mean anything. So the crap you learn in college, for you college graduates, and you already know this if you've been in the workforce, and people in college, Rabbit is, you're not getting skills, you're getting an education, and do not confuse the two. Skills and education are two different things altogether. So I had no skills, and so I came out making $1,500. So I wrote this book 3 years, I think 2 or 3 years ago now. I started like 3 years ago, got published 2 years ago. And I wrote it saying, if I could go back to that kid, that 23-year-old kid that went there and got shocked by how little he was worth at the time. Mm-hmm. And I accepted the job because I needed a job. I couldn't not accept the job. Mm-hmm. And it was in something that I, recognized some opportunity, but the starting pay was absolute crap. So I accepted the job, and then I went back home, going to start that next Monday. And I remember sitting down going, how in the fuck am I going to make $1,500 make it? I mean, right? Because that becomes the next trick. How the hell are you going to make that work? How are you going to pay rent? How are you going to pay utilities? How are you going to buy food? How are you going to keep your car on the road? And $1,500 is not enough even back then, right? This is back in the mid 90s.
I think most Americans ask themselves that question every day.
Correct. Like, how do I make this work? So I was there. A lot of people, we talked about last show, like, oh, Cory, you came from, money. I was born with no silver spoon. I came from nothing, had nothing, and had to borrow money and paid off my student loans, by the way, too. That's bullshit. I paid off my student loans. You're going to pay for student loans. Nobody gets free student loans. If you make that choice, pay them. Okay. That's my spiel on that. But, you have to understand that, I wanted to write a book to go back to that kid that went home after getting the job and then sat down at the table and said, how the hell do I make this work? Yeah. And how long am I going to have to make it work? And that was the second question I asked myself. I said, okay, how do I make it work? One. Mm-hmm. And then two, how long am I going to have to make this work? Now, I didn't have what's in this book to help me. You guys do. This book, you can get it on Amazon if you want the actual book. I think it's like, $14, Emilio. If you want me to send you a free copy, it's on my website. It's on my social media. I think it's still linked there. I can get you the copy free. There's going to be shipping and handling. It's like, $6 or $7, something like that, and I'll ship it to you. Or if you want to get the audio version and hear me read it, for free, because it doesn't cost me nothing, because it's all auto-delivered, go to my website, CoryGeneSuccess.com or CoryMeansBusiness.com. It's on there. It says audiobook, right? And that's working, Amelia. That goes right to the free one. And then you can download the free version of the book where I literally read it. And I improved on it too, because when I sat down and read it out loud, I actually said, what else can I expand on that? So it's worth getting if you haven't gotten it. So again, some people like the paperback. Some people like to read a book. Other people like to listen to an audio version. You've got both. It's cheap enough. Nobody has an excuse not to get this book. So I know it's a big introduction, but let me, apply it to our situation for the podcast, and I'm going to start asking questions.
All right.
So I'm preparing you for the questions I'm going to ask.
All right.
So, don't knock the book over. So everything that I wanted to know at 23 with that $1,500, I put in this book that would have saved me at least 15 years and would have accelerated that $1,500 up to real living money, right?
Yeah.
Way faster than I did it. Now I still did it pretty fast because I was determined, and I hated being broke, and I hated eating the mac and cheese and the top ramen. I was sick of it. I did it for 5 years in college. I made the sacrifice in college. I ate top ramen and mac and cheese and a bowl of cereal. That was pretty much the daily.
Yeah.
And college diet, man. And, so I wanted some steaks, and I wanted some shrimp, and I wanted some lobster tails once in a while. Not all the time, but, once a month or something, right? I wanted to be able to go out to eat. I wanted to be able to take a date out, right? And actually, not be panicking about like, holy shit, don't get the big popcorn, don't get the big popcorn. So I was motivated to actually start making some money. And again, if I would have given myself this book, it's kind of like that, what is it? Back to the Future, I think part 2, where he goes back and he gives himself the betting book that shows like all the winners, and then Biff gets the book, right? And then Biff becomes real rich because he's able to know all the winners. This would be the winners. This would be that. So if you get this book, that is what this is. This is the winners. This is give yourself this, And then your future is guaranteed because all the things that I learned to do over the last 25 years or 23 years when I wrote this book, I put it all in here so you can sit down and read it in a day or two, or listen to it at the gym or on your travels, right? Listen to the audio version, and you will have everything it took me 23 years to learn, and you'll have it instantly, and then you can put it to work. So that's the intro on the book. Now, there's 5 chapters or 6 chapters in here that really, for someone in your situation, and I'm gonna start asking you questions now. I'll shut up and start asking questions. I already said no names, no companies, no nothing, right? Because we're gonna, we're nice people here, but
Cory's nice.
Yeah. I'm the nice. I got the reputation to be nice. Maybe I stopped being nice. But anyway, we agreed that we would tell the audience.
Yeah.
The type of work you do outside of here. No, he does. This is not full-time gig. So no, I mean,
I know
he cannot live well off of just what the co-host at Cory Means Business pays. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Maybe someday if you guys share enough, right? So let me like, subscribe, share.
Give me that page.
Got to stick that in there. Click the bell, click the notification, right? All the guys. I watch YouTube videos too, of course, and I'm always. Because I'm so awkward when I do that call to action, when I do the, like, subscribe, share, and there's so many people that are so good at that. And I'm like, damn, I got to get that skill. I got to get the ability to be able to ask real easy, like those guys do on the YouTube, like how to actually like, subscribe.
They even know the exact spot.
Like, oh, no, yeah. It's right here. All right, Emilio, pay attention to where my finger's pointing. So right here, like, subscribe, click this bell right here.
Like, how do they do that?
So now I have to put a comment below, right? I'll get better at it, I promise. So there's 6 chapters in here that I wanted to apply to you in your situation because you've got a good job.
Yeah.
Good company, nationally recognized company.
Yeah.
You've got a good position there.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in the industry a long time. You've got a lot of knowledge and experience, right? You've paid your dues.
Oh, yeah.
You've been a radio personality, you know how to play the political game, you know all that stuff, right?
All that stuff.
But what's going on? So tell us so even with all that going for you, what's frustrating you right now?
Well, I'm not content completely on my pay. And I think we can all say that we work hard at our jobs and we deserve more money. But when you put in an effort, you want to personally keep growing, and that's where I am. Now, I have 27 years experience in the radio business. When I got hired by this company, I was starting all over again. When they interviewed me, they only had a 4-hour shift a week.
Right.
I took it. I was the garbage man. There was a DJ who missed or was too lazy to go in for a weekend show. I'm your guy.
Right.
I'll do it. I worked my way up 4 years later to a middle management position.
Okay.
And each time got a little bit more pay. Great. How do I make this work for my living? I made it work.
Right.
But I want to keep growing.
Right.
So then it came to a point recently where there was another promotion. People wanted to elevate me. My company wanted to elevate me. But when we sat down to talk figures, that's where we got stuck.
Okay.
And we didn't agree, and I am staying at my current position, and they hired somebody who did it or was going to do it for cheap.
Right. Okay.
So now I'm I'm frustrated now because I felt I've proven my worth as somebody who works hard 24/7.
Right.
I'm skilled. I know what I'm doing. I can do even more for them. But the compensation isn't there.
Right.
So I'm at a point in my life, what can I do in my life, my career, to elevate myself to that next level?
Right, right.
That's where I'm stuck.
Okay, all right. And I'm sure that scenario you just mentioned probably is going to strike a chord with a ton of our viewers here. Because that is the most common scenario that people have. If you look across the United States and you look at the average pay, right, just the average, and you say, okay, across all industries, across all vocations, doctors, lawyers, brain surgeons, politicians. You look across the whole spectrum and you do the average, it comes out to like $62,000 a year. That's the average. That's the average with all the top earners and everybody else. And it's like 60 grand a year. So you look at that and you say, okay, well, if you're an adult and you actually want to have a house and a nice car and save and, go on some trips and, have some nice things in your life and, get married, have kids, go out to dinner, all these things, 60 grand don't go very far, especially after the tax man comes, right?
That's another show.
Exactly. That's a whole nother show. But, you look at that and you say, okay, well, then only about 50% of that money after taxation is you going to actually get any value for.
Yeah.
Right. So you get taxed on the money when you get it paid. Then you turn around and anything you buy is taxed again. Okay. Then you go and you pay sales tax, 10% sales tax on anything else. Your phone bill has a tax on it. Utility bills have tax on it. In this state, your food doesn't, right? But anything else does. If it's not actually edible, then it has tax. Fuel. I mean, they what people don't realize, and we're all pissed off about gas prices right now, you realize like $1 of it is taxes.
Yeah.
$1 of every gallon of gas is taxes, and people don't know that.
Like $5.
Yeah, and the reason why California's gas prices are so much higher is because it's the tax.
State tax.
It's not that the gas costs more; it's the taxes. That's why. And so when you look at some of the taxes, you look at some place like Texas. I mean, Texas, even here, I mean, their gas is like way cheaper than ours because they don't tax it. They don't tax it as much. I think every state does taxes on it, but some other states like California, New York, I mean, they throw $3 on there, right? So when you talk about the actual value of your money, it's like maybe 50%. Yeah. And then again, if you buy a house, well, then now you got property taxes. And then you buy a car, and now you got license plate taxes.
If you're a single guy with no kids.
Yeah, then you're a single guy with no kids, and then you're sending in, how many dependents do you have? And you're like, 1. Well, you get one for yourself. So.
Oh, just.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it ain't much.
So basically 20% of my money is valued.
Yeah. So, you get killed. So you get killed in that situation. And again, so does, unfortunately 90% of America. And then the rest of the world, man, they really have it tough. But 90% of America is in that situation, and they face exactly what you're facing. Now, I have the cure, right? So here is the good news. I figured this out. I beat the system. Now, they don't want you to beat the system. I beat the system, and I don't like the system. Nobody likes the system, man. Stop buying into the system. Get out of the matrix. So here's how you beat the system. Right now, you have to, like in any game, right? And when I was young, I used to play video games. I don't have time anymore, but I used to play video games. I love video games; they're fun. I don't have the time now, but when I did, I played them. What's the rule of the game? Okay, the rule of any game is if you don't know the rules, you get crushed.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't know how it works, you get crushed. If you don't know the tricks, you get crushed. If you don't know the moves, you get crushed, right? We take like something like, Halo, Call of Duty, whatever. I mean, if you don't know how the buttons work and, the angles and what building to be sniping off of and this and that, you get crushed real quick. Well, guess what? The real world works exactly the same way. You go out in the marketplace to make money, and you don't know how it works, and you don't know the rules, and you don't know the buttons, and you don't know the angles, and you don't know the strategies. Guess what? You lose. You don't get past level 1.
Yeah.
And if you do, it's painstaking, takes years, 27 years. You made it to, level 3, and you're like, shit, man, I can't make it past level 3. Yeah. This is really frustrating. Well, you know what? The solution is learn the rules, learn the strategy, learn the game, learn the angles, right? And that's what I did, and that's what I wrote the book about. So 6 chapters I promised you guys, because a lot of this doesn't apply to you, because I wrote this literally just if you're 23 and never had a full-time job. But so we'll skip some of those parts. We'll go into the 27 years of experience, should be making a lot of money, but isn't. So the first chapter that covers that is chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2, and this is the reasons why people don't make great money. Now, if I'm going to teach you how to play a video game, right, the first thing I have to say is like, well, show me how you're playing and see what you're doing. And then I can say, oh, well, don't do that. Yeah, that's going to get you killed. Don't do that. Oh, that's going to get you killed, right? No, don't use that weapon. It sucks, right? I've got to, you got to see what you're doing wrong before you can start like doing stuff right.
Okay.
So this chapter 2, is titled The Reasons Why People Don't Make Great Money. And it is the things that people do wrong, right? Unknowingly. And again, smart people. And I did this. Again, there's nothing in here that I didn't make the mistake. That's how I know what the mistake was and how to fix it, right? Because I made the mistake. That's how I know, right? So the first mistake, and I'm not going to sit here and go over everything in the chapter, go get the book, okay? Go get the audio version. It's on my website. Get this book, and then so you can read the whole chapters or listen to the whole chapters, and this will make a lot more sense to you. The first one I call the QF, right? Or the QEF, right? QEF, it stands for quick, easy fix. Now, this is the first mistake that people make, that there's some quick, easy fix for something, right? There isn't. Now, the first thing you understand is there is no quick and easy fix. Things are hard. Things are complicated. Things are difficult. Be okay with that, though, right? If you want to become, and again, I think a video game, again, is a great analogy for this. If you want to become really, really great at the video game, you can't want the video game to be easier.
No.
Right? The whole point of it is that it's hard.
Yep.
Right? What level you on? I'm on level 26. Holy shit, you know how hard that is? Now, if it was easy, right? And that's why they have, like, you can choose. You want it to be super easy, medium, hard, extreme, like, whatever they put on there, right? People that are serious about it, they want to play on the extreme level.
Professional level.
Because you got no bragging rights if you don't.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't put it on the hardest level, you got no bragging rights. So you got to kind of think of making money as like a game. Not that you're not taking it seriously. I mean, I've seen people take video games real seriously. It's just that when you think about it in those terms, you become okay with it being hard. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not possible, and it doesn't mean if you know the strategies and the way it works that you can't beat the game. You can still beat the game even on the extreme level, right? So the first mistake people make is to think that shit is quick and easy to fix. It is not. You can't get anywhere quick, and it sure in the hell ain't going to be easy. So just get that out of your mind, right? Level 1, you can get through pretty quick and pretty easy, right? Level 1, let's see if you know how to shoot this gun. Okay, you passed that. You're past level 1, right? The first levels are real easy to get past.
Yeah.
Go in and get that job, minimum wage. Oh, shit, you copped the job for 3 months. Oh, you're past level 1. Yeah. Oh, you got a $2 raise an hour. Oh, look at that. You're level 2. I mean, the first couple levels are easy, right? Yeah. Unless you're not very smart or unless you're just a screw up, right? You can make it through the first few levels just because you're showing up. But that's where ends the quick and the easy. Now, from there, again, it gets more complicated because now we're playing at higher levels. So again, just from a mental approach, understand that stuff will never be quick and never be easy. Only the first few levels, but as you climb the levels, it gets more complicated and harder to achieve. Not impossible, just harder, which means you got to have greater skills and better strategy. The next thing that people do, again, that causes them not to make too much money, and again, it's a pitfall. It is the DOS. I call it the DOS syndrome, right?
Dose.
That stands for the dose. It stands for delusional outcome syndrome. Now, this happens to a lot of people. I mean, I could name people that very educated, very smart, very talented. They fall into this trap. It's nothing to do with your intelligence. None of this has to do with intelligence or desire, any of it. Delusional outcome syndrome is basically this. You believe that even though what you're doing isn't working, that if you just stick with it longer, it'll start working at some point. Okay? That's the delusional outcome syndrome. And people get stuck at anything. They get stuck in their jobs, they get stuck in their relationships, they get stuck, making money, they get stuck in their workouts, they get stuck in, with their diets. This syndrome is all over. It literally, it is the real pandemic, right? We talked about it. Yeah. Don't censor me, Zuck. Don't censor me, Zuck. So it is the real pandemic because, again, this can permeate throughout your life. What you got to realize is that you can't keep doing the same thing and then something that you're going to get a better outcome. No, you're going to keep getting the same outcome. So if you've done something for a week and it's giving you this outcome, well, I don't give a shit how many more weeks you do it. It's going to keep giving you the same outcome.
I believe that was Einstein's definition of stupid as well.
Yeah, insanity, right?
Insanity.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
Insanity.
It's Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, thinking you're going to get a different outcome. Result, you know, but people do. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. Smart people too. So understand that you got to understand if it's not working, what you're doing isn't working, you have to make changes. Even if you don't know the changes, you got to make them anyway, right?
And I think that falls under complacency as well. Because before this job, I had another job for 10 years, and I was feeling really stuck, but I was comfortable.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But I wasn't going anywhere. And I know I was getting too complacent. That's why I left after 10 years. But it took me 10 freaking years to understand that.
Right.
That's why I'm at this level now, and I'm stuck on this hard level now.
Right.
Because I don't want to spend another 7 years at this company being complacent.
Right. Or just saying, well, there's no solution, so let me just tough it out. And a lot of people the sad reality is a lot of people just quit. They quit trying to get better. They quit trying to make more money, and they tap out, you know, and some people do it quick. Some people do it at the part-time, at the minimum wage job, you know, this whole fight we have, or this whole, it's nonsense, but this whole thing over $15 an hour minimum wage. Who the hell said you're supposed to set as an adult on minimum wage? Minimum wage is for a kid just out of high school or just getting your first job. It's supposed to last like 3 months, and it ain't supposed to be something you live on, you know. Minimum wage is like a 3-month thing just to prove that you'll actually, it's level 1 of the video game. Like the game wasn't made so you could stay at level 1, right? The reason why it's so simple and so easy to beat is because you're supposed to just get through it real quick, right? Get some basic skills, prove that you're not going to quit, and then you're through it like in 3 months. So again, minimum wage is bullshit. I don't give a shit what it is. It could be $7 an hour, 100, a million. It doesn't even matter. It's all relative, because if the minimum wage goes up, well, then the cost of everything else goes up too, because it's what our whole CPI is based on. The Consumer Price Index. It's all based on the minimum wage. So you raise the minimum wage, and I think a lot of people got a little rude awakening this year about how that works. You raise the minimum wage, you put more money in the marketplace, the price of things just go up. And so you don't get any more value for it. So again, stop fighting for minimum wage and just understand that you're not supposed to stay there. Be unconcerned with it, because again, it should be within 3 months, you should be past it. And if you're not, well, then you got more serious issues. Now, the third thing, and then we'll go to the next chapter, which is the loss syndrome, or the loss principle, right? And what that stands for, lack of skill syndrome. Now, a lot of people will believe that they've got a great skill, and maybe they do. Okay. Maybe they do. The problem with having what you believe is a great skill is if you just sit there with that skill and you don't continually improve it, that skill becomes worth less and less and less and less money. And I'll give you a good analogy of what that is. We look at technology, right? Imagine if Sony, we'll just take the company Sony, well known. Imagine if Sony kept making the same TVs they made in 1995. Remember those big ass Trinitrons, 36-inch Trinitron, right? Super impressive for the day. Weighed like 2,000 pounds, take like 4 guys to carry it, right? I remember those, but man, it was the baddest ass TV that there was. You were like, holy shit, that's unbelievable, right? It's a joke today. I mean, by today's standards, it's a joke. So let's just say Sony says, you know what, man, we got great TV building skills. We make this Sony Trinitron. It's amazing. We're just going to stay right here. Well, they'd be out of business, because that skill of making that TV diminishes very, very quickly. And we see with technology, I mean, shit, it's so fast. Every 6 months, your phone is now outdated, right? Every 6 months, there's another model that's got better stuff and faster, and battery lasts longer. So if you just stick with the same skills, literally think about your skill set as like a cell phone. Your skill set, the skill set you have right now today, is going to be out of date 6 months from now, which means it'll be worth less. There's a reason why when you go to buy a cell phone, right? I go with Apple, but it doesn't really matter. The reason why when a new generation comes out, the last generation price, even if you buy a brand new, right? The price goes way down, right? So let's say a new Apple iPhone 12 before 13 came out. It was like $1,200. The second the 13 comes out, it's $900, $800, because it's now not as valuable, because it's not as good as the new thing. Skills are the same way. You can't set on your skill set. You have always got to be adding to your skill set. You've always got to be, you've got to become the one that's the freaking new Apple that's just coming out with this new version all the time. And it's improved, and the battery lasts longer, and it does better, and it's faster, and it takes better pictures, and it's got better camera, right? Every aspect of it has to be superior. Otherwise it doesn't have an increase in value. Same thing with the person and your skill set. Your skills have got to continue to improve. If they're staying stagnant, they're going down in value. You keep getting better skills and more skills. And sometimes, let's just say you're the best in the world at a particular thing and I can't improve that much. Well, go get another skill that you don't have, right? Let's say you don't know how to use Excel. Go learn how to use Excel. Well, what does being a radio DJ have to do with Excel? Nothing, but except it's a new skill. Yeah. And it trains you to have that mindset of being out and saying, look, I'm going to go and improve myself all the time. All the time. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to get better at that. And then if you're always improving your skill set and always improving your person, you become more valuable automatically. So that's a big one, because people set on their skill set. They learn a skill, they think it has value, and they just sit there with it, the same skill set. Next thing you know, 10 years goes by, they can't do anything better now than they could do 10 years ago. Therefore, now that skill set's not as valuable. No skill set is as valuable now as it was 10 years ago. It's just not. Same. You could take a brain surgeon as an example. If a brain surgeon went to medical school, took all this, became a world-class brain surgeon in 2010, became a world-class brain surgeon in 2010. Yeah. We go forward 11 years now, 12 years now, 2022. If he hadn't taken another class, if he hadn't gone and gotten recertified, if he hadn't learned new techniques, gone to this clinic that taught him how to do this new technique they're doing, guess what? He can't even practice anymore. Not only is that skill not worth anything, or not worth as much as it was, they literally are dangerous now because they're doing old stuff, and now they're out. The medical board won't even let them practice. That's an extreme example, but you get the point. That's how much you have to stay on top of. So a doctor, a surgeon, a dentist, any of those people, their education has to continue. They got to keep going and going to these new trainings and learning these new techniques, these new skills, and these new things all the time. And if people realize that and do that, that's one of the first things and one of the biggest things you can do to actually making more money. And hang in there with me, because this is going to go somewhere, I promise you. The mental switch. Right. One of the best chapters in this book is called Flipping the Mental Switch, right? Because again, one of the things of getting stuck with people is that they will get stuck mentally. Yeah. Right. And this is really easy to do. And it happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. Don't feel bad about it. You get mentally stuck. And again, it goes back to, you talk about being complacent, right? Yeah. I'm just stuck here. Just be cool with it. And I get kind of irritated when I see memes on the internet or whatever, and they'll say be happy with what you have. And Yes, I'm 100% agreeing to be grateful with what you got. Of course. But don't be satisfied with what you got. That's the difference. Man. Be grateful, but don't be satisfied. No. And I think people get confused with that.
Yeah, we're all guilty of that, man. Like I said, I did that for 10 years. Paid the bills, lived comfortable. But then one day I woke up and I'm like, I can do more. So I don't ever want to go back into that complacency.
Right.
And spend another 10 years doing that.
Which is perfect, because again, until you have that mentality, you can't make this work. Yeah. Right. Until you have the mentality of I'm not okay staying where I'm at. I'm going to improve. I'm going to get better. I'm going to make more money. Then you can't, and you won't. Yeah. Because you'll just keep doing what you've been doing. Again, you'll fall right back into that delusional outcome syndrome. You'll just keep doing the same thing over and over, thinking it's going to just automatically change. It doesn't. Yeah. So flipping the mental switch. How do you do it? Get moving. Just do something different. Get out there. Go learn something like Excel. Go help somebody. Get out there, go to your neighbor's house and say, hey, can I pull your weeds? Hey, can I, do something that's different than what you've been doing. It could be something very small. Go to your mom's house and say, hey, Mom, what do you got for me to fix around the house? I'm gonna get that door handle changed that's been loose for 5 years, right? Go do something that's out of your normal routine, that's productive, that will make you feel an accomplishment. And again, don't make it complicated, because then the payoffs too long, right? Make it simple. Make it something you can do in an hour, but something that's going to have a big impact for somebody, right? Something that somebody's going to go like, oh man, I was really hoping someone would do that, or I was hoping to get that done. Make it be an hour thing, but it has to, again, be for somebody else, not for you, okay? And it has to be an impact. It has to be something that their life will be better because of it, right? And just go do it for a loved one, a friend, whatever. Call up a friend that you know has got some, issue or whatever, and just go do something for them. Spend an hour doing it, and it'll get you out of your routine. Yeah. And it'll also, again, give you this sense of accomplishment. And it'll get you moving, because now you'll say like, wow, that felt amazing. I did something for somebody else that was truly selfless. I didn't charge them. Their life is better for it. And it was something completely new that I haven't done, or something that I haven't done in a long time. Now, that will unstick you. Okay. Then just do that every day. I'm not saying that you go over to a friend's or your loved one's house and, paint their house every day, but do something different every day that's out of your routine, that is productive, that is something new for you, that's a little bit of a challenge, that has an impact. And you just keep doing that every day. Every day. Call an old friend that you haven't talked to in a while and say, hey, how you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? And again, even maybe the conversation's enough to help them with. Yeah. Maybe the conversation is enough that, they've got some things they got to bounce off somebody. They know you can be a good confidant, so they'll tell you some things they wouldn't tell anybody else, and now all of a sudden they're feeling better. Yeah. And now all of a sudden they're moving better. Again, same aspect. You just improved their life. Yeah. You did something you normally don't do, and you feel great about it because it had an impact. And if you just do that every day, and you will train your mind to want to then go and just take on new challenges, right? And then, of course, then you start doing it in your work. You start doing it in your job. You start doing it in your personal life. You do it with the gym. You do it with eating. You do it with your diet, right? You do it with your health. You do it with every aspect of your life. Yeah. And you'll see how fast you can get better. One of the things that I say a lot of times, right, and again, it's real cliche. I mean, some of this shit's cliche. Get 1% better every day, and then 92 days you're 100% better. That sounds cliche, but it's true. But how do you get 1% better? Every day you do something new that has a big impact. It only takes maybe an hour to do. It'll get you unstuck and get you out of your routine. You just got 1% better. It's a fact. So that's a good one. Maximizing your current situation. Again, getting more, that's a whole show for another time, but getting more out of what you got definitely is a good step, because if you take the money you're making now and you do an exercise where you sit down and you look over all your finances and you say, hey, look, where am I wasting money? Yeah. And we talked about it. You said you had a great example of 99% of the people on here are wasting money the same way you were wasting money. What were you doing that was wasting money that could have been put somewhere else?
I had a bunch of those streaming services, and I wasn't even watching them. So I ended up cutting them.
There you go. And that's just one little thing, right? So you have these streaming services, they add up. I know they're only $10, $12 or whatever, but you have 5, 6, 7 of them. Next thing you know, you're wasting like $100, yeah. Right?
Another thing I did was how I started buying. This was kind of like passed down to me in a family trait. Going to that 99-cent store to buying like laundry detergent or, stuff to clean around the house.
Right.
Mom loves doing that. 99-cent store. I trained myself. 99-cent store. When I sat down and made the list of how much I buy at the 99-cent store compared to me getting a membership at like a Costco or a Sam's Club and just buying that thing in bulk and lasting the whole year rather than me going weekly or bi-weekly to buy some of this stuff, I saved hundreds.
Sure.
So it was not just what am I spending on, but how am I spending on?
Right.
Insurances, household items, grocery shopping. Again, not looking for discounts, but really doing the math. Right. My habits on what I was buying.
Right.
Saved me a whole lot of money.
And again, waste. And one of the things that I catch people doing all the time, and just usually when I sit somebody down and I look at their personal finances and we consult them on their personal finances, the first thing I see is just nonsense. They're spending money on nonsense. And one of the things that's nonsense is eating out too much. Okay. Again, I like to eat out. I like to go to a restaurant. I go once a week to a restaurant. I'll catch people Okay. And I could afford to eat at any restaurant on this planet every night, every meal, right? No problem. So it's not a money issue. I just cook better, healthier food at home. You're at home. You're able to control your calories, the ingredients. I mean, there's a million reasons why you should actually cook at home and not eat out. But people will go and they'll eat out every day. And it's just such a waste of money. And especially at today's prices, I mean, shit, it's $40 to go to McDonald's. If you go to a nice restaurant, you're walking out of there with like $300 to $200. I mean, again, nothing crazy, man. I'm just talking like a normal, like little steak, little potatoes, little asparagus, and a couple of beers. $250, holy shit,
That's
right?
What it is,
Anything about caviar and freaking,
just
champagne.
A regular restaurant.
Just a regular freaking neighborhood restaurant is like $250. Well, if you do that like once a week, two times a week, you're blowing through like $1,000 a month. Well, so here's the thing. If you're living in an apartment and your car maybe is, an older car and, you're worried about it breaking down or you're spending all this money trying to keep it on the road and you're wasting $1,000 a month eating out, again, that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. So here's what you do. Stop eating out, start grocery shopping, eat at home, take that $1,000 and take it and improve your lifestyle. Yep. Get a better house, get a better place to live, get a nicer car, right? And if you own your home and you love your home, fine. But if not, go buy a new car. Get the car that has the brand new warranty. Get the car that's got the new tires. Get the car that's not going to be a problem, not going to leave you stranded, right? Got the nice ICAC. Don't spend it on something that you're going to crap out. Okay. That's the point. So when I sit down with people's personal finances, they're crapping money out, right? Again, they're literally eating it and crapping it out while they're living in a not the best place for them and their family, while they're driving not the nicest car for themselves. Yep. And one point, and we'll move on, I want to make about a home and about a car. Oh shit, Cory, who cares about nice houses and fancy cars? Everybody. Okay. Don't kid yourself, right? Don't lie to yourself. Everybody cares. And let me tell you who cares the most. The people that you would like to associate with care. The people you want to have pay you more money care. The people that you could possibly do business with care. Okay. That's who cares. They do care because it's a reflection of how serious you are about your life. Yeah. So if you're looking to do business with me, the first thing I'm going to look at and say, okay, well, how are you living? Yeah. I don't give a shit what restaurant you went to. I don't give a shit like, necessarily if your shoes are $400 or $80, right? As long as they're clean and, decent. I mean, that's fine. They could be $80, $50. They don't got to be, $1,000 red bottoms, right? But I'm going to look at your car, especially because, again, not everybody goes to your house, but most people see the car you drove up in, right? You drive up in a car, right? Or how'd you get here? Where you parked? Where'd you drive in? They're going to see it, man. Yeah. And then they're going to judge you. And I'd like to say that the world doesn't work that way. Again, the video game developers made the video game. You as the player have no say-so in the rules, okay? And there are some cheat codes, but you don't want to go there, right? Because they're against the law. They'll be more serious in the video game. But the people that made the rules that you have to play with, again, you have to play by the rules. And the rules are that people care about what car you drive. I'd like for it not to be the case, but it's the case. I didn't make that rule. I'm just a player in the game. I don't make the rules. I don't make the environments, okay? But I play the game and I play it well. And I'm trying to tell you, and take it seriously, people care about the car you drive. It's a fact. Now, I'm not saying live in the ghetto and frickin' drive a brand new Mercedes, right? No, there's extremes. I'm saying you can have a thrifty car. You can have a Honda Accord. You can have a nice Honda Accord. Yeah. It just has to be nice and it has to be new. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Again, you don't have to have the Mercedes. You don't have to have the Ferrari, right? You don't have to have any of the fancy shit. It just has to be nice and it has to be new. Yeah. Can't be a new Kia. Okay. Some of the Hondas are getting better. Right. Actually, the Kia, I take that back. It can be a Kia. It can be the nice one. I like the SUV they have now. Yeah, they got a really nice SUV, actually. Yeah. I look at them like, is that a Range Rover? And I'm like, oh, shit, it's a Kia. But it's got to be decent. It's got to be nice because it's reflecting upon you, your life choices. Now, if you're looking to do business with me, I'm not going to do business with somebody that's made bad life choices. I'm sorry. I'm just not, right? Not on any kind of real level. Yeah. Now we're talking about major opportunities. So by driving that car that you think, so nobody cares, they fucking care. And you're limiting the number of opportunities you can get because people are thinking of you as not being very serious. So again, get that brand new Honda Accord, get that new Kia, get that new freaking Hyundai, the nicer one though, not the cheap one, and get a fully loaded one. Don't get the freaking one with the damn, base package. Okay. The black bumpers and the, no backup camera. Yeah. Don't get that one. You got to get the nice one because it reflects on you. So someone says, oh, he's driving a Honda Accord. Next question. What's the trim level? I forgot the trim levels of Honda Accords. Yeah, exactly. Right. Or is it the EX Plus or EXV? I mean, whatever. I forget what they are. But you get the point, right? Oh, he has the nice one of those. It reflects upon you. I like to tell you it doesn't work this way. It does. So the first thing you have to level up, always, if you're going to try to make moves and you're going to try to get into a money-making mode, is your vehicle. Next thing you got to do is you got to live up your living arrangements. You got to get to a nice house. It doesn't have to be a mansion. It just has to be something that reflects well a nice neighborhood. It could be a 1,500 square foot home, but it's a home. It looks good. Paint's clean. Got a nice yard. Things that you could literally do on your own time. Emilio's got a nice yard, actually. I see it all the time when he's out there with his dogs taking pictures of the sunset. Yeah. Gotta have a nice yard. That reflects on you huge. You can live in a lesser home that you have a nice yard. I've been to some houses that probably weren't worth 60, 70 grand at the time. And, but you're so impressed by the yard. You're like, damn, man, this person is making the most with the least. That's impressive. So even when you don't have the nicest house, or let's just say your finances keep you from getting a really, really nice house, or at least, when I say really nice house, even a nice track house, make your yard nice. Yeah. Because that's just work. Yeah. Okay. That's elbow grease and work, and make your yard nice. And then that way people go like, well, don't have much money, but man, making the most with the least. And that's always impressive. And it's also mentally, this is also having a nice car, and having a nice place to live, or at least making your place to live really, really nice, is a mental exercise in self-improvement. If you will take that seriously and you will do the work it takes to get to that level, well, now that opens the door for you to be able to get to the next level. Yeah. There are certain things in our video game that you have to accomplish, right? So before you can go to the next level in Call of Duty, you have this mission. You got to accomplish this mission. You can't leave out certain parts of the mission and make it to the next level. That's one of your missions, and the level you're at, you've got to accomplish those missions to move on to the next level.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I think I passed that level. Not recently, a couple of years ago, moved into a suburb neighborhood in Marana, nicer home. Just recently got a new car.
Nice.
So, and that's even before reading the book.
Right.
And absolutely what you said. Mentally, I said, wow, I'm in the suburbs. I'm the only Latino in this neighborhood now. I just got a nice car. I still drive the jalopy around in the hood, but
right.
I got the nice car for business now. So I went from Grant and Alvernon. Now, if you're from Tucson, you're like, damn, Mucho. To the suburbs in Marana.
Right.
But now my next goal is I want to get to them suburbs in Oro Valley.
Right.
So that's the level I'm stuck on.
Okay. So you've made the move in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
To position yourself well. Mm-hmm. You've got the personal accomplishments. And again, when you got that nicer house and you got that nicer car, it made you feel a certain way.
Oh, it did, yeah.
It empowered you.
Absolutely.
You walk around different. When you pull up to Circle K, and you pull up. Too, exactly. So you pull up different. Yeah. Everything's different. That meant their mindset becomes different. And again, and again, I'm glad you're past that level, but a lot of our people aren't here. Yeah. So you got to get to that level, because then it's going to open up your mind to accomplishment. And that's important, right? So now let's get to where you're at. So now we've set that baseline. We've got our established position. You accomplished those things. Now you're at the increasing your skill set to be able to increase your income. Now, two things that you've got going against you. One, you've been in this job for a while. Mm-hmm. They know you.
Yeah.
You have an arrangement already. You have a deal. Okay. You have an employment contract.
Yeah.
Okay. Your employment contract says you're going to do this, this, and this, and you're going to get paid that.
Yes.
Right. Now, you want more. Here becomes the disconnect between employer and employee and or business owner and client. You want more for, and I'm not saying this is personally, but here's the usual scenario. You want more for doing the same thing we already pay you X for. You just want more for it. And this is where the disconnect happens with the employer. The employer says, why should I pay more for what he's already doing?
Yeah.
And the answer is they shouldn't.
No, agreed.
And that's why a lot of people can't get the raises or the bonuses or the better employment contracts, because the employer is not going to just pay you more because you're you. And I know as an employee, I've been on the other side. I've made the argument, well, I'm me. Why should you pay more? Because, well, it's me. I mean, you do realize it's me, right? Like, you should pay me more because it's me. And you fall into that trap of it's me. And they could like you. They could love you. You could be invited over for Sunday dinner. You could know the family. They could be like, you're like family to us. When you say it's me, they go, oh, yeah, exactly. So the bottom line is like, no matter what you think your position is in the company or how fondly you're thought of or you think you're thought of, the bottom line is when it comes time for the money, they'll invite you over to Sunday dinner. You can come hang out with the family. Yeah. I ain't cutting you a bigger check. Yeah. That's the reality. Now, there's a cure. So that's the problem, but there's a cure for it, right? Here's the cure. You have got to go to your employer and you have got to say, look, you pay me X for Y. I do X and you pay me Y. Now, I would never, even though it's me, ask you to pay me more for what I already do, because you're going to lose that battle anyway. Yeah. So don't even bother going there. Yeah. Here's what you do instead. You go to the employer and you say, look, I do X, you pay me Y for doing X. Let me ask you, what else can I do here for you to help you make more money that would make you be willing to pay me more money? Okay. Now, in order to get an employer to give you more money, you have got to do something you're not doing. And if you want to get paid a lot more money, that something has to be directly attached to them making more money. So I'm not saying like, hey, can I wash your car and add that to my list and then you're going to pay me a bunch more money? They're going to say no. Or they're going to say, well, yeah, we'll give you an extra like, $20 a week if you do that. It's going to be peanuts. Yeah. You have got to say, what can I do that will help you make more money so that then you would be willing and want and literally have a desire to pay me more money. And the only thing that people are going to want to pay more money for is if they get more money. Yeah. Okay. My clients, the companies I coach, the banks that I handle their finances and their assets for, hey, I can't just go to them and just ask for more money. I can go to them and say, look, how do I help you make more money? And they say, well, you could do this and this. That would make us more money. Okay, if I did that, how much more money would I be worth to you? Well, you'd be worth this much more money. Now, if it's a lot, okay, I say, all right, I'll make it happen. Even if you don't know how to do it, first thing you need to do is say, look, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to go learn it real quick. I'll be right back. And when I come back and I know how to do it, and I help you make more money, we got a deal? Yes. Okay, I'll be right back. And then you go and you get that skill as fast as you can. And then you bring it back to that employer. And then you say, I got the skill that can help you make more money. So let's work out our deal. And then you negotiate a deal and again, make it lucrative. So when I do that with my clients, I say, look, if I help you make X amount of more money, if I help you make an extra, I'll just pull numbers out of a hat. If I help you make an extra $100,000 a month that you don't have and you wouldn't get without me helping you to go do it, what's that worth to you? If I bring you an extra $100,000 a month in revenue, what's that worth? And most employers are going to say that's worth 10 grand, 20 grand. Depends on what kind of business you're in. If you're just selling stuff, if you're selling a hard product, obviously the profit margin is only 10% to begin with or 12%. So there's not 10% to pay you in commission. But if it's a service like radio, advertising, anything that's a service, right? It's an intangible. You can usually get 20, 25% commission on service-based stuff. If it's a product, if you're going to go help your employer sell $100,000 more in product, okay, what would my commission be? Probably like 5%. Okay, you sell an extra $100,000 worth of our widgets we have here. If you can find me customers that could buy another 100,000, I'll give you $5,000. I'll give you $7,000. Well, now you can go make 7,000 more in addition to what you were already getting paid for. So when you want to take these big leaps in income, 7,000 again, life-changing levels. Yeah. Right. You have got to go ask them what can be done to help them make more money. Find out what skills you would need to have in order to make that happen. Yeah. And if you don't have the skills, go get them and then come back. And if you do have the skills, get to it. Yeah. Okay. Bring them another $100,000 a month. Mm-hmm. They're going to give you a cut of that. Yeah. Because you make it clear you will not have this other $100,000 unless I go get it. Yeah. Everybody loves to make money, especially business owners. So they're going to be happy to give you a cut. So if you want to make more money, go to your employer with that proposition. They're going to tell you. Everybody knows how to make more money. Every business owner knows what it takes to make more money. More customers and higher paying customers, right? Yeah. So you work for this radio station. How do they make money? You say, how does this radio station make money? Probably through advertising, right?
Absolutely.
So you want to make more money? You got to say, if I go get you more customers to do more advertising, what's that worth to you? And there's a commission they're going to pay. Yeah. And you go do it. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do sales. Oh, fucking well, that's life. Mm-hmm. So life is sales. Yeah. And, we can do another whole show about that, but I can tell you right now, every one of you is a salesman. You were born a salesman, right? Yeah. You come out of the womb a salesman. So, and a saleswoman, right? When I say salesman, I mean everybody. So you come out of the womb, right? And what's the first thing the baby does? What's the first thing the baby does when they come out of the womb? You know, right? Or you're going to know pretty soon, right? Emilio is going to be a dad here pretty quick.
Good for you, man.
So you're going to know, right? When that baby comes out, it's going to be selling. And that baby's going to be selling hardcore, hardest core sales you ever saw. Yeah. Twisting your arm, breaking your arm, will not take no for an answer, crushing every objection you have. This is going to be freaking the Wolf of Wall Street, top of their game coming out of the womb. That baby's going to come out crying and screaming and wanting to be held, wanting to be wrapped in a blanket, wanting to be fed, okay, wanting to be protected. Mm-hmm. And that baby will not stop screaming at the top of its lungs until it gets everything it wants.
Scaring the crap out of him. Buddy.
Correct. Well, he better realize you're going to have a hell of a salesman on your hands here pretty quick. And see, we all come out of the womb like that. Because we know, as a baby, you're instinctual, hey, if I don't get freaking clothed and protected and fed, I'm dead real quick. The baby knows this. Yeah. So the baby comes out screaming for what it wants. Yeah. And children, and this goes on probably all the way to age 13. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, for some reason, puberty kicks in and everyone's like, I don't want to go talk to the girl. And they get all shy and bashful and I don't want to ask for that. I don't want to ask for what I want. And it's puberty. And all of a sudden you have a problem asking for what you want. A 5-year-old kid's got no problem asking for what they want. Yeah. 5-year-old kid will go into a store and literally get drug out by their parents on the ground, kicking and screaming because they didn't get the $3 toy they wanted. Yeah. Okay. You talk about salespeople. Right? You want to see the world's best salespeople? You go to a toy aisle at Target, Walmart, whatever, and you watch the kids work the parents. And we've all done this, so we know how it works, right? The kid starts working the parent, right? And the first sales pitch is this: Mom, can I get this toy right here? Can I get Cory's book, Maximize Your Now? And the mom goes, no, I told you no new books. Yeah. But Mom, you said that if I did this and that last time, that you would buy me this time. Right? And the parent's like, did I say that shit? Did I really make that promise? And you probably did to shut them up, but here you are, right? They don't forget. Little kids, again, they're the world's greatest salesmen. They don't forget. So they remember, last time you said that if I did that or this, that you would do this. That's the first way, that's the first objection to overcome the first no. Then the parent says, I didn't say that, or no, not this time. We just, not going to do it. You don't need it. Whatever the objection is, right? Well, the kid's ready. Yeah. And the kid comes back with the comeback, right? And what's the second comeback? The second comeback is, but Mom, tell you what I'll do. You buy this me this book. You buy me this toy. You give me this thing I want, and I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to clean it really well. Mom, I'm going to clean it better than it's ever been cleaned before. Right? Yeah. It's called the promise phase. Yeah. So then here comes the new promise. So, and then the parent's like, you really going to clean it really, really well? Yes, it's going to be so clean. It's going to be amazing. All right, go ahead and get it. And usually most parents will collapse right there. Yeah. And the kid knows it. Yeah. That's selling. The kid wants the toy, and the kid is willing to ask for it, get told no, crush that objection, get told no again, and then crush that objection, but do so masterfully, so skillfully that if you do this for me, I will do something for you that is so far beyond what your expectations are. You're gonna have to have surgery to remove the smile from your face, right? And that becomes the second cell. Yeah. Now the third cell, we're getting really good. This is getting really good. Stay with me, okay? The third cell, if that doesn't work, the parent goes like, I don't care. You're supposed to clean your room anyway. Don't be promising me something you're supposed to already be doing, and I know you won't do it, right? Well, now the kid's going to go hardcore, right? The kid ain't stopping. Okay, the kid's going hardcore. So now what's the third way that the kid overcomes the objection? Mom, if you don't get this for me, I'm not going to do this or that. Or even worse, why do you hate me? Right? That's the kid pulls that one out, right? Why do you hate me? Yeah. Oh shit! Because now the kid knows to go to guilt, to get what they want. So now the guilt move comes. Yeah. You hate me. Why are you against me? Or they bring out another one. This one works real good too. Jimmy's mom bought him one, right? You're not a good parent, right? So then they're going to pull out the "you're not a very good parent unless you get this for me" card, right? And then if that don't work. Right? Let's just say the parent, and most parents will collapse right there because the guilt, and society makes us feel guilty as parents. We don't get our kids what they want. So now if that don't work, the kid's going to go to more hardcore tactics. Now the kid's going to go to threats. It's going to go straight from freaking "you're not a good parent" to little threats, right? I hate you. You never should have had me. You were right. You should have got the smortion. Then the kids go to extreme tactics, and you see where this is going. Then the kid eventually, a lot of kids, not every kid, but eventually they're going to go to the floor. And they're going to start kicking and screaming, and they're going to unless I get what I want, you are literally going to have to drag me out of here, crying and screaming in front of everybody because I want this. And that's how, so we are natural born salespeople. That's the levels we'll go to. Yeah. That's the skill set and sales that you have innately in you because without it, you can't survive. If you don't come out as a child ready to sell that parent on protecting you, feeding you, clothing you, and giving you what you want, you will die because you can't do that for yourself. Yeah. So you have to be a great salesman as a kid. At 13, 14, for some reason, whenever puberty kicks in, we lose it. Maybe we start to feel maybe self-sufficient. Maybe we feel like we don't need the parents to be able to do everything for us. And maybe we're feeling a little more independent. So then we kind of lose our salesmanship. Yeah. But then all of a sudden everybody turns into a bad salesman. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing. And then at 16, you can't sell your way out of a wet paper bag. You can't ask the teacher for freaking a retake on your test. You can't ask for shit, right? You have to understand that you're a salesperson from the time you come out of the womb to the day you go in the grave, and you're always trying to get something from somebody, whether it's love from your wife, whether it's your kids to respect you more, whether it's your boss to pay you more, whether it's to have the checkout person at the grocery store just do a little better job for you. Yeah. Okay, you are selling every moment of every day. You're selling yourself, and the biggest sell you'll ever make is the sell to yourself. Yeah, you'll sell yourself bullshit. You'll sell yourself lies, or you'll sell yourself on a dream. You'll sell yourself on a vision. Hey, if you're going to sell yourself something, and you got to decide what it is you're going to sell yourself. And I say, if you're going to sell yourself, you might as well sell yourself vision. Might as well sell yourself a big dream. You might as well go for the whole fucking thing. Don't hold back. Go for it all.
So when is it tantrum mode with my corporation, though, man?
You got to go to your boss. You got to go to your boss. Well, you got to say, look, I want to make more money. What can I do to help you make more money?
I did that. I wanted that promotion. And I told them, this is my skill set, which I learned a lot. Right. I'm bringing to the table. I can elevate you to this status from my experience, from this new skill set that I learned, commission-based. Let's do all this.
So they don't want no more new customers is what you're saying?
They hired somebody who was going to do the job for less money.
But they don't want more customers beyond that. They're cool. They had enough customers.
They went with the guy who was going to take less money.
He can only get so many. He can't get, and he doesn't have the skills to get serious
but
customers.
Hey, I'm still part of the company, still a Spanish speaker, so I still got the Latino market.
Well, there you go.
And
well,
I
then
still
again,
got
maximize that.
I am, but they're not going to pay me extra for that.
Well, then don't do it. Don't do it. You have to negotiate your deal first. You don't do the extra.
That's what I think. The example, this company I'm at. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mucho won a little bit too much. So this guy over here is going to do it for this much. But hey, we still have Mucho over here. He still speaks English, Spanish. He knows the radio business. He can help this guy make sure the department's safe.
So here's what you do.
Yeah.
You say, look, if you're going to pay me this much money to do those tasks, fine, we got a deal. I'll take that much money for those tasks.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I want to do extra over and above that's going to make you more money, mm-hmm. and I want a cut of how much more money I make you.
Yeah.
Because that's not my deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to go do all that extra that's even higher skills than this stuff mm-hmm. for free. Mm-hmm. So either I go create that, it doesn't exist, okay, and you make more money and then you pay me more money, or I just keep doing my task with a smile on my face and be a team player and you pay me what you pay me. Now, if you want to make more money, then I want to make more money. We can go make more money together. Now, there is a scenario, and it's in the book.
Yeah.
If you make that pitch and you make it well and you sell it, right, because this is your first test as a salesman.
Yeah.
This is your first test. If you can't sell your boss on helping them make more money, and then you get a little cut of it so you make more money, if you can't make that sell, there's not a lot of sales you can make. So you have to be able to master that. Now, let's just say you're like, hey, you know what, Cory? Nope, I was a good salesman. I sold them on that idea. They looked at me and they said, no, we're not interested. Not saying it can't happen. It happened to me.
No, it happened to me.
It happened to me. Yeah. Now, what do? Time to move on.
Got it.
That's just the reality. Mm-hmm. Now, again, even if it's not in the same field, even if it's not doing the same thing, you have to move on because you always have to look after numero uno first.
That's what I needed to hear.
Yo hablo español también.
Yeah. Well, that's what I needed to hear, and I think a lot of people need to hear.
Correct.
That.
Exactly. Yeah. So there is a time to move on. Yeah. If you've legitimately given your employer an opportunity, fair, that you're going to go create for them more money, and all you want is a cut of it, and they say no, time to move on. And I had a situation exactly like that. Mm-hmm. And my employer looked at me and said, you know what, you make great money already. You're young, you don't have no kids, you're not married, and you make more money than anybody we know that's in your situation. So, nope, you're good. I turned in my resignation a week later.
Yeah.
And I went and moved on because, again, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
So you have to move on sometimes. But don't do it. Don't sell your employer short, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you do have a good relationship. And it is something you know where you like to work, and if it is something that you like doing, don't sell yourself short. Make sure that you do this with your employer. Be fair about it, but do it. But if they say no, it's time to move on. The greatest skill set that you'll ever have is the ability to sell. Now, if you love a particular industry, and you know this from the radio business. I mean, if you love the radio business, if you love the, making movies or being part of the movie making process, I mean, just look at the credits of like a movie, right? There's like 500 jobs going on there. Like, okay, you can't be the main star. Yeah. You can't be the leading man or leading woman. Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't be one of the other 499 freaking people there.
Yeah.
You're still in the movies. You're still making movies, right? And there's some positions in there that actually pay really, really well. Mm-hmm. Where if they're attached to production and they're part of the sales process or they're part of the creative process that's specifically producing income. When I say creative, I mean the guy that made these tables, right? Mm-hmm. So the guy that made these tables, then they go up for sale. He has the skill set to make these tables. He's going to make good money because without him making the tables, there ain't no tables to sell.
Yeah.
So if you're in production, that you're making the thing that's getting sold, you can negotiate a pretty good deal. Otherwise, the only other way to make any money, real money, is you got to be in sales. Yeah. You got to be the guy selling these tables, right? So you got to be the guy making these tables, and your craftsmanship is just second to none. You can make good money, not great money. The guy that's going to make most of the money, the two people that are going to make most of the money, the guy selling these tables. When I say guy, women, I'm including you too. The women, who's selling this table will make more money than the guy making the table. The owner of the company will make more money than them.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the creative, you have the sales, and you have the owner. And you can make money at all three of those things. It just depends on how much money you want to make and the industry you want to make it in. I like the sales position, or I like the ownership position. I'm not very creative. We all know how bad my stick figures are. I'm not creative when it comes to stuff like that. I couldn't make this table in a million years. But I can sell because I've forced myself to remember what I was like when I was 5. Okay. That's how I learned how to sell. And then, or be the owner, right? And hire somebody to make the tables. Now, as the owner of the business, and I'm going to the business owners out there, you have got to become great at sales. You can't be a business owner and not be good at sales. If you're a business owner and you suck at sales, man, your business isn't anything what it could be. You have got to learn how to sell as a business owner. So as a business owner, and when you look at who becomes most business owners, it's usually the sales guy for the last company. That's who usually becomes the business owners. Once in a while, it's the producer. Once in a while, it's the guy making the tables. But if he doesn't get him a good salesperson, or if he himself doesn't learn how to sell, his company is going to be short-lived, or he's going to struggle. And there's a reason why 90% of small businesses never make any money. I'll get you guys the one last statistic, and then we'll wrap this one up. 90% of small business owners make less at their company than they made at their last job. That's a fact. And that's that's a scary statistic. 90%. You literally took on all the risk, all the headache, all the trouble, all the difficulty running a business to make less than you made your last job. Doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to get into business, do it to make money, because if you're doing it to make money, that means you're helping more people. In order to make more money, you have to help more people. If you like what you do, then you certainly want to help more people with it, which will then make you more money. You can't make money without helping people unless it's some kind of illegal thing, right? You got to be helping somebody. That's the only way to make money. We only pay each other for helping. You want me some money out of me? How are you helping me? That's how you get money out of me, unless you steal it or trick me out of it. But that's unethical. We don't do that. So the only way to get me to give you money is to help me with something. So by helping more people, you can make more money. Helping people with a bigger problem, right? You wash my car, here's your $50. You help me with my taxes and save me 50 grand. Here's your $10,000, right? What's the level of problem that you're helping me with? Also dictates how much money you can make.
Yeah.
So again, for you, I would do this, negotiate a new deal for something else, something extra. Again, make it be production. Mm-hmm. And if they say no, time to move on. Time to move on to a company that will let you do that.
Yeah.
And when you go in, now the best time to set this up is day one.
Day one.
You wait till you work someplace for 4 years and then you try to go do this. It's a lot tougher. I'm not going to lie to you. It is. It's a lot tougher to go negotiate with the company you've been working there for 4 years, because they already believe that he ain't ever leaving. Oh, he's a lifer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they think they own you and they think they can take advantage of you. It's just natural behavior. It's like you've been married for 10 years, or, your wife's like, he ain't leaving me. Like, which might not be true, right? Maybe you're wrong, but that's the idea. Like, if you've been here for a while, you're a lifer, you're going to stick it out no matter what, no matter how bad I treat you, no matter how much I disrespect you, or how little I value you, or how little I give you back. Yep. You're a lifer, and people will just take advantage of you. That's just a reality of life. Yeah. Again, it's the game. Mm-hmm. I didn't make the game. I didn't make the rules to the game. I just play the game really well. And if you approach it like that, if you approach your money making like that, things become a lot clearer. Therefore, they become a lot easier to navigate when you understand the rules. So again, and if you got to move on to a new job, move on to a new job. I would go to a next job. I would go in as a salesperson, because that's where the most money is to be made. If you've got other skills, then you can say, well, I'm going to bring you these other skills and you pay me this much money for those skills, but then I'm also going to sell for you and bring you in business that makes you more money and pay me this for that. Great position, especially if you're already kind of moving in life. If you don't need a lot of money, your bills are low, well, then you can take more risks and go into a commission-only position. But if you can't, you can always do the hybrid salary plus commission. Mm-hmm. And for any adult that's got real bills and stuff like that, I always recommend a salary plus commission job. Yeah. If you're going to stick with a job, do a salary plus commission. Don't do a salary only. You'll get screwed.
Yeah.
And if you can't take on the risk, don't do commission only because you might not make the curve.
Yeah.
Okay. But you do salary that pays the bills, right? Even if you got to eat mac and cheese and the top ramen, but this is going to like make sure that the car payment's paid and the lights are on and the house payment's made. All right. And then this will be like, when we go out to dinner, this is because I did this, right? Yeah. And that's fine because you can live forever here, but you know you're not going to. And then over here on the commission, you can work on your skill set to get better at it, right? And then you can actually start making money and bringing in more money, which then you're going to get a cut of. And negotiate your rate before you start making the money. I've had people come to me like, oh, I made this company like X amount. I made them $300,000 this year. Okay, well, what was your deal? Well, we were going to talk about it after. No, you lost. You can't go and make the money and then try to negotiate a cut after the fact, right? Doesn't work like that. You got to negotiate your cut first and then go make the money. And then wow them, right? Because they may end up giving you a bigger percentage than they thought they would, not knowing that you were going to actually do it.
Yeah.
So you get this great commission structure and they're thinking, oh, he's going to bring us 50 grand or whatever. And all of a sudden, bam, you hit him with 500 extra grand. And they're like, oh shit, man, we promised him 30%. And now we got to give him 30% of 500 grand. Oh, that's a lot more money. But oh, well, too late. The deal's in place. Yeah. But then just remind them, yes, that's a lot of money, but how much money did I make you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then now everybody's winning. They're winning, you're winning, the customers are winning, everybody's winning. So that's really, again, to get yourself in a position to make more money, that's what you got to do. The skill set I always go back to, I always tell people to do, is learn how to sell. If you're an engineer that's got great engineering skills, you'll get paid X. If you're a great engineer that's got those same engineering skills, but you can also sell and bring in new customers and go get jobs for the engineering business, now you get paid the money of the engineer, plus you get your cut of the commission on the business you brought in. Being both is the way to go. And if you ever want to become an owner of an engineering firm, you better know how to sell jobs. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there, with your number 2 pencil in your hand, right? Or those little, I never actually got into those little fancy pencils with the loading lead. That's going to be you with your freaking scientific calculator and no work. Okay. You have to get good at selling. It improves every aspect of your life regardless. You'll get better service at the damn freaking car wash if you can sell. You walk up to the person, hey, how you doing today? Hey, I love those shoes, man. Those shoes are great. You guys working hard today? How's it going? You guys making any money? Oh, yeah, shit. Let me shine this guy's wheels even extra better. Yeah, 3 or 4 questions, actually give a shit about people. Next thing you know, the guy's like doing a better job on your car. That's selling. Being able to interact with people and provide value to them that they are happy then to reciprocate. That's what selling's about. We can do a whole show on selling, but and it's in this book. Last chapter of the book, right? Actually, second to last chapter, and I'll remind you guys of this. What exactly is sales, and why does everyone need to be great at it? And I mean everybody. The janitor should be a great salesperson. Okay? Your mom should be a great salesperson. Your life is way better if you can sell, right? Doesn't matter what your other skill set is. If you're a great doctor, you want to know the doctors that make all the money? The plastic surgeons. You know what? And they have this skill, but why do they make a lot of money? Because they can sell the skill. Right? They can go out there and they can go out there and they can convince the famous people to use them and then put them on their Instagram. That's selling. That's what it is. They position themselves better in the marketplace because they can sell. So selling is the skill you need to get. Nobody should be afraid of it. If you read some books, take some courses, you can become a pretty good salesperson pretty fast. Now for you business owners, we're getting ready to launch my business sales training course. Look for it here soon. We're going to start selling it, making it available. I've got some freebies I'll give you as well as part of that. First thing you do though is go get this free book. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, come back and get the business sales program that I made for a business owner. It'll save you so much, make you so much money, and I'm practically giving it away. So look for that here real shortly too. Any other questions? No. I know I talked a lot on this one, but I like to teach.
No, that's great, questions? Man. You gave me a lot to think over.
Cool. And this book with what we talked about today, you'll see it, man. I'm telling you. You'll
got a lot of notes I got to go over.
You'll see the picture. You'll see the picture. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. If you got some value, right, I'm going to work on my skill set of being a better YouTube requester for subscriptions, likes, shares. Click the bell right up here to get notified when there's new videos. Emilio pushes new videos 3 times a week. I'm like, Jesus, dude, slow down. So get the bell because we put new videos up all the time, and I always want to make sure that I bring value. So I think, even in the short ones, we have a bunch of shorts that go up. I think even in those, there's some value in there that you can grab. So really appreciate you guys. Love you. Hope you do well. And we will see you on the next one.